Am I just being really delusional? Perhaps. I have this, so I've got a mosquito bite here and I'm itching it. Oh look, it's come up. Must have been during my run. Am I a bit delusional? Yes, but I think you have to be delusional if you've got big goals. When I started my fitness journey, I could never even dream that I'd learn to do a 30-second handstand, that I could pump out almost 14 pull-ups in a row, and that I could run 50 kilometers like this, but I could. I was always slightly overweight as a child. 7 years ago, I was walking with a walking stick because I had such swollen ankles from my Achilles tendinopathy on both of my ankles that I couldn't even walk without a guard. Had you told me before? No. I didn't really have any belief in myself. And so exercise and getting stronger and fitter has really allowed me to expand my dreams, and perhaps it has made me more delusional, but I think that delusion is what's gonna really carry me through. As much as I would have liked to have had a proper training plan in the weeks leading up to my marathon, I just can't fit it in with everything I'm doing, with work, with my calisthenics training, with ice skating, with my social life, everything. And the one thing about marathon block training is that it takes up a large amount of time, because a lot of the runs are very long endurance runs, and we're talking over 3 hours, 4 hours sometimes. And then you've got to factor in that you've got to dress up, shower and get ready, and that sort of adds so much time. The reason why I feel like I can do this, and call me arrogant because I have yet to run that marathon, is one, I've already done a distance longer than the marathon, so I know my body can cope with it. And two, I'm an avid fan of walks. If you follow me for some time now, you know that I absolutely adore walking. I really invest in my walking. We're not just talking, getting my 10,000 steps a day. I can really walk for a long time. And I feel like walking is the unspoken hero of running. Not many runners talk about their race blocks and marathon blocks of training to include parts of walking. I just enjoy running the whole time. But that doesn't mean that some people, especially when they start off running, have to do a mixture of run walks. And in general, I don't walk for exercise. It's how I like to transport myself in this busy city. I don't have an actual training plan for this running block. Doesn't mean I'm not running at all. I am still attempting to run one run a week, and my comfortable distance for me, where I feel I can zone out and be in my own little world, almost like a meditation, is 15 kilometers. Once we start treading above 15 kilometers, I do feel having to activate my mid-cingulate cortex, which is the part of our brain that deals with willpower and doing things that are difficult. And we see larger mid-cingulate cortexes in athletes and in people who regularly do activities that they don't necessarily want to do, but do them out of discipline because they want to achieve certain goals. I know my body can go way more because I'm used to running, but when the run feels hard, which is many a time, I am activating that part of my brain and making it stronger. So I see the running more as a mental activity as opposed to physical activity of getting fitter. Sun's shining outside, but it's deceiving. It is freezing, absolutely freezing outside. And I really don't want to go for this run, but I do have the marathon coming up very soon. I thought I've been lacking motivation in running recently. So if I leave it long enough, I do feel like going for a run. Or whenever I'm on holiday and I'm trying to explore new areas, then instinctively I feel like going for a run. But when I'm back home, it's just chaos. Living in a massive city, you just have children, dogs, traffic, so many people crammed in such a small area that it almost becomes more stressful to run because you have to keep stopping and starting, darting between people, and because you're running, you're going at speed, you could knock someone over or you could be knocked over. My gear on, and hopefully this can be a nice peaceful run. I'm not going for any particular time. In fact, I think I might go quite slowly and put my AirPods on, listen to a podcast. I always make sure to clip back my baby hairs. I've got a lot of baby hairs. It can get very windy and it's the worst feeling when they're all like flapping around your face. With running, my biggest goal with it is to have fun. And if I manage to beat a personal best or go particularly fast on one run or a particularly long distance, then that's great. That's just a bonus. One reason I do this is because running can take a lot of time, especially endurance runs, and it makes me feel a little bit under pressure if I wake up one day with a running routine and knowing that in that particular day I may have to do a 30+ kilometer run that could take up to 3 hours when I really don't feel like doing it. And it's not that I don't enjoy running as much, because I really do, but with calisthenics, for example, even if I don't feel like doing it on the day, the workout's only ever going to be 1 hour long, whereas with long runs it can be whatever. So I like to surprise myself, because I seem to get into the running once we pass 3 or 4 kilometers, and I can tell whether it's going to be a good running day or not. And so I try and run once a week, but these could be any runs from an easy 5k to a marathon distance itself. It just depends how I feel, and I don't know how I feel until I wake up on the day. Ultimate runner. I gave in. Running is not supposed to be an expensive sport, but it does get expensive when you factor in all the Asics trainers I've bought and my Oakleys. I just love them. I think I'm going to get a second pair. They do these really nice gold framed ones. You just feel like, you know, you got the AirPods in, you got all the black gear with the little Nike tick. It's like, whoa. Even got my little Nike bag I used to use. I used to use this, but as you can imagine, you're running. It's quite annoying. So now I have multiple black bum bags that I use. They're not the most fashionable, but they do the job. It also goes boom, 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 boom when you're running, but it's all good, and I've got all my essentials in there. Just like that, I'm back home, going up the stairs again. I don't even look like I've sweated, but I ended up doing a 12 kilometer run, and I was going to go nice and slow. When I do fast runs, I do have to plan them a little bit, and I don't tend to listen to music because, like I said, I have to be really aware of traffic and everything because I'm going quite fast and I can't just stop. So I'm a little bit out of breath because I've just finished, but it was relatively good.
2 weeks later.
Oh God, I didn't eat anything because I was just too full up. That's why I wanted to go for a run, not for training. And I just got really tired at around 20 kilometers. So I thought push one more to get half marathon. But then I thought the half marathon is the longest run I've done for years now. So why don't I push a little bit to get 22 kilometers? Hey, I did it. 2 hours run, done. Ideally, I'd like to get a long run, but like a proper long run. I know today I did 22 kilometers, but say 30 kilometers in. Yeah, these long runs, they take time. This was a 2 hour run. And now I just want to like cuddle up and be in my house because it's starting to rain outside. Am I training for the marathon specifically? Not really. I'm going more off my general fitness, 1 run a week, and sometimes I miss that. So I missed that. I haven't been on a run for 2 weeks, which is why I started running and thought, yeah, I'm gonna do at least a half marathon distance. Another thing I would say is, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I like to consume large amounts of food in a small space of time. So I did this run completely fasted, finished at about 12:30 p.m. I'll put the stats up. But because I'd eaten so much the day before, I even found it difficult to sleep because I'd finished eating at 8 p.m. the day before. And I think I had like 6 cereal bars, a whole box of bran flakes. I adore bran flakes. I'm addicted to them. The only thing is, like, you're constantly in the toilet with bran flakes. So I was running the whole run thinking, oh, please, 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 let it be okay. And it was okay. But yeah, then loads of other food. I don't know what else I was eating. I think I bought one of these ready-made tomato-y pasta things, and it was like serve 6, and I ate the whole thing. So yeah, I eat so much but in a small amount of time. So this morning I woke up with feeling really heavy and excessive energy, and I just got the motivation to go for a run. Again, it's not really anything to do with a training plan because I don't have one. I'm just gonna hope for the best. I'm doing these videos so that I can watch them after I've done the marathon and be like, yeah. One really good thing though to note is that I did a 2 hour run and no Achilles problems whatsoever. Even my half marathon video, which you can check here, I did feel like on the day and on the run my Achilles was a bit sore, but oh my God, I'm doing really well now. It's doing really well. In conclusion, I I'm running without modifying my training in any way. Put a disclaimer in that I'm quite an active person and I've built up an aerobic and cardiovascular base that I feel can endure the distance of a marathon. We've yet to find out how silly I've been, but if you are a person that hasn't trained at all and signs up for a marathon, then I would not advise to run the marathon without having had any training whatsoever. I will obviously be doing a post-marathon video to let you know how it's gone, where I will be castigating my former self and calling myself an idiot, or I might be pleasantly surprised. I am a glasses half full type of girl, so I'm hoping it is the latter, but only time will tell, right? So stick around to see what happens. And if you've enjoyed this video and you like running and you want to get into it, then I have this video next that you should watch. Thanks very much for being here. Please give me a little like if you've enjoyed the video and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you soon. Ciao.